Hi, welcome to valuationpodcast.com, a podcast and video series about all things related to business and valuation. My name is Melissa Gragg, and I provide online business mediation and valuation services based out of St. Louis, Missouri. Today, we're actually going to discuss money court, financial and business disputes, which actually is a little bit of a show. And money court it has had one season so far, and we are actually talking today with Eric Schotz, who is the executive producer of Money Court, and they are looking for kind of additional companies for the second season. So there is an application process,
Yeah.
and you guys have kind of put some information on the website. If you're in a money dispute, if you're at a financial standstill, something like that, Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful can kind of come help. So what I'm thinking is that we should at least maybe talk about some of these things. The website is moneycourtnow.com. And I thought it was a pretty easy application process. Basically you just need a photo, you need some information, your social handles. It wasn't that difficult. It's live now, so people can go kind of apply. But it really is a good opportunity for business owners. Do you think you have anything else that we should let them know, or?
CNBC has a gravitas to what it does. And it really is. It's all about money is what it comes down to. And CNBC covers that world, not unlike ESPN covers sports. And I think that gravitas, there's a credibility factor here that's real important to us. That these have to be real stories. They have to be stories of value, and there need to be stakes involved. When you go to moneycourtnow.com and you sign up, you are signing up through CNBC to go through this. We're going to hear your side. We're going to hear your side of the story. We're going to contact the other side and see if they want to come on. The biggest problem we have on a lot of these stories is one side agrees, the other side's like, not so much, which wouldn't tell you something. But we have to have both sides agree to come on. Both sides have to agree that the decision is binding. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we're not looking to favor one side versus the other side. We're just trying to resolve where that world is. It's not necessarily all or nothing. It could be, doesn't have to be. And it has to be legitimate business dispute of some kind, or advice. Advice can be a dispute. I want to do this. You want to do that. That's fine. Or you owe me this because of this. We have contractor cases where it's cash. I did this. You promised me this. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't like your work. That's a really gray area to go, well, but I did the work, but I didn't like it. Those are two different things. So you find all those kinds of cases. Family businesses are rarely generational businesses. New startups are a huge area. Startups are, hey, come on over to my garage. We'll all do something together. Then the business starts blowing up and then all hell breaks loose. Those kinds of cases are great places for this, where you don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a legal team to figure out how to get you out of it. And when you've won the case, you've actually lost because you spent so much getting that factor. It's common sense. It's, and again, if it's you or someone you can come in and tell us, hey, I have a friend here who's great. You should call this guy, this woman. She's amazing. Whatever it is, we are open to all of that.
Well, and I think that that's important because some of our even listenership is actual businesses, attorneys, professionals. And I think that this is a huge opportunity for other valuation professionals, anybody that's kind of in management consulting right now, really, because we're seeing a bunch of these kind of decision making having to happen. It's not even in the pivot anymore. It's sort of like, do we reinvent? Is this working or not? Everybody's at that crossroads. Right. And so it's just like, do you need help with it or not? Is it, because like a supplier issue, I know a lot of companies are having supply issues, but you may not be able to get that other company to engage with it. Right. So it's really.
Supply chain issues are the number one excuse for everything now. Supply chain issue. It's taking too long. There are legitimate supply chain issues. There are other issues that have nothing to do with that they're using that as the vehicle for what it is. Listen, our show, if there's a legitimate legal dispute, you stole $1 million from me, hire lawyers, don't come to us.
Yes.
Okay? That's simple. I'm the first one to say it. We're not looking for people to come in lawyered up to try to solve a $10,000, $20,000 case. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for people to come in and tell our story in the business world to be able to be judged fairly on that. If someone stole $500,000 from you, this is not the show that fixes that.
Right.
Okay? Not get a lawyer, call Randy, work it out. I'm fine with that. That's what it is. But if you have two people that are trying to figure out how to move forward, sometimes you don't need lawyers for that. Sometimes you just need to figure out how to get to a place where someone like you said, Melissa, can give you advice and go forward. And it's a very simple, application process. We do vet both sides up front. We will vet you out and make sure that you're at least telling us the truth, that at least it's a legitimate business. I still do this, and a million people say, I have an invention, Kevin. I have a ball. Can you sell this for me? That's not our show. Different show, different network. Happy to refer you. But that's not what we do, okay? I'm not looking to get someone's invention made or have Kevin invest in your company. That's not what this show is.
Yeah.
Kevin's here to solve your problem, and I think he's here to do it with a business savvy and an expertise that comes through in a way that you might not be able to purchase on a sort of an open market kind of thing. Here's your chance.
Eric, I'm a fan. I think, there's so many lawyers and valuation experts that follow Melissa and that watch this podcast. It's another form of ADR, right? Alternative dispute resolution. When something comes into me, my job is to figure out how do we solve it? Is this going to be a trial? Is this going to be a quick settlement? I mean, that's now another, arrow in our quiver. Say, here's an option that you might not have thought of. And, that's exactly where, it should go in my bag of tricks to how do I get these people to where they need to go.
Well, and traditional mediation or arbitration is going to be like a legal person in the middle, right? For some capacity, like, okay, let me look at the operating agreements. Which way does this go? Whereas this is really having like sort of the ultimate business consultant, if you will, kind of looking over and saying, hey, from the outside looking in, this is what I would do.
We love there's a contract involved. Makes our lives quantum easier. But what you find in most businesses and most startups and most of these sort of smaller businesses, they skip that step. And hopefully in the show you learn, hey, note to self, let's have an agreement going into it before we begin. And I do it with when we do shows and development, we're going to get a piece of paper together that identifies our relationship. It doesn't have to be 35 pages. I get a network contract and it's 75 pages. I know I'm being screwed. I just don't know what page it's on. If it takes 75 pages to split $1, they're screwing you. Okay. It's just whether it's on 75 or 70, what page is it on? I just point it out to me. So that simplicity of being able to do that is critical. There's takeaway because you're going to find businesses that are like yours or things you've thought of. That was my idea. I had that same relationship with my parents. My grandfather had a family business. All those things come into play. Look, we're an entertainment show. Our job is to be entertaining and at the same time be informative. That's where the CNBC layer comes onto it, that it's just not, people don't want to feel like they wasted their time.
Right.
There's train wreck television, and I'm a big fan of train wreck television. It's a certain type of television that exists, and I'm a big fan of watching it. I actually watch it. This particular side is not that version of it because we want people to say, I don't want to be lectured and taught how to do this, but I want to be able to take away something where I feel like I spent an hour watching something. I am smarter, better, more informed for having watched that. You're also entertained watching something else. The world exists where both those things can exist.
Well, and I think that that's helpful for business owners to know that they're not going to be a caricature in this show. They're not going to be like made fun of or, make this seem like a three-wing circus. It really is about the business, the court process of it and coming to a decision. So I think that should be comforting to the businesses and it's on CNBC, which means that, this is all trying to get legit business situations.
And you're as good as you present yourself.
Yep.
If you want to present yourself as a yeller and screamer, guess what? You'll look like a yeller and screamer. If you present yourself in a means that is like, this is how I do my business, this is what it is, and you're prepared because Kevin will rip through you through the basics. How much money do you make? What are your sales? It's like if you're going to be on Hell's Kitchen, you should probably figure out by season 22 how to cook a scallop. Okay? That's simple. You better know your numbers. You're going to come to a business show, know what the numbers are. You don't have to defend them. You just need to know what they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if they want to apply to the show, it's going to be Money Court Now. This was Eric Schotz, which is he is basically an executive producer of the show. He's looking for companies now, but the best way for right now, instead of reaching out to the producers, is to go. It's so simple. It would not take you very long to fill out the application, even if you're questioning whether it's the right thing. It's not like a normal application that it takes forever. Right. It's very simple. Give them your idea. If they like it, they'll probably reach out, right?
Here's what happens. You fill out a very basic application of who, what, when, where, how, why. Simple as that. A producer will then reach out and ask you the questions. And again, you always have a decision not to do it if you don't want to do it, but they're going to ask you the simple, basic questions to get it going through. So it's a process that's what happens. And we take all applications. We read them all the same. We take them all seriously. We try to get back to you unless someone's saying, again, I want to go on vacation, Kevin. Can you book me a hotel? I do not know why people do that on a show called Money Court, but we do get those. What's the weather in Canada? Nice.
Nice.
So what we want to do is, like I said, go to Money Court now, fill out the quick application. Producers will reach out to you.
That's awesome. So I also have included, I didn't do a real proper introduction of Randy Kessler, but he is a family attorney in Atlanta and does a lot of kind of court TV and Nancy Grace and things like that. So I thought we could kind of provide some basis of understanding of companies that could apply to this. So I appreciate it, Eric. And if there's any additional information we need in the future, you're always welcome to come back.
Yeah. And if they get lost and they can't remember anything, CNBC.com will also get you there.
There you go.
Great to meet you, Eric. Thank you for
Pleasure, Andy. Melissa, thank you very much for doing this.
Talk to you soon.